Sit! Welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast, where we discuss Dynasty strategy, rankings, and all things NFL. So get ready to geek out on fantasy football with your host, Rich Dotson.
And welcome to Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Rich Dotson. He's Matt O'Hara.
Hey.
He's Garret Price.
How's it going?
And we're back to cover up the loose ends with the tight ends. That's right. We're talking top 12 tight ends, not dynasty tight ends, but like how we think they're going to finish in the 2025 season. And, you know, we all know the top guys. We all know how it's probably, I feel like our top tier is going to be pretty similar. Mm-hmm. No surprise, but
I'd be shocked if our top three guys weren't the same.
The same three. I would be very surprised as well. Maybe slightly different order, but
could be slightly different order. We're going to find out here soon. And, you know, the key is like, can we find out like who's going to finish as tight end 4 through 7? And that's like the difference maker between your league mates, right? Because we already know the top 3 guys are going to give you an edge like nobody else has. But if you can have a guy that's like finished 4 through 7 and is a little bit closer to tight end 3, then you have now an edge over your rest of your league mates. Because once you get to tight end 8 through 16, almost like wide receiver 9 through wide receiver 15 on a points per game basis are pretty similar.
Yeah.
So before we dive in here, this is literally the last chance you're going to have until kickoff next week. I think we can probably promote this next week's shows as well. Promo code NERDS30. What does it give you? It gives you 30% off of the Nerd Herd. That's right, the Nerd Herd, 30% off. It's a big, massive discount we're giving to get everybody ready for the 2025 season and beyond. Because in Dynasty, when I say the season's upon us, it isn't just the NFL and fantasy season. This is the start of the 2025 season for us. I mean, essentially, it really started back in January, essentially, because that's when we started doing the rookie prospects to get ready for this season. But to get ready for the 2026 season as well, this is where Dynasty Nerds is also going to help you. We're going to have the in-season tools to help you. Right now, we have the lineup optimizer in the Dynasty GM. And our lineup optimizer, not to brag or anything, did better than Yahoo, did better than ESPN, and did better than Sleeper on our projections. They all, the lineup optimizer suggestions were better than everybody else's. So what the app's going to do, it's going to go in there, it's going to read your starting lineup for you and tell you what changes you should make. And last year it was right way more than it was wrong.
Cool little things that you never think of too, like getting the best player into your flex and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right. Our app doesn't tell you, like, oh, switch this receiver to this receiver. It'd say, hey, move this receiver to your flex and then move this receiver into wide receiver 3. I didn't even think about it, so I forgot it does that as well.
Because when they play and things like that.
Yep.
So that's an in-season tool, like a redraft tool that the Dynasty GM does for you. It gives you access to mock drafts. It gives you the league analyzer, your player shares, the trade browser, which is going to show you real trades in real time made throughout thousands and thousands of fantasy leagues that are real trades and dynasty trades. That, so much more. And then when you get to the offseason, Dynasty Nerds Film Room, the Nerd Score, the extra content, the extra podcasts, all for 30% off. Use the promo code NERDS30. It'll be the best investment you ever make for your Dynasty team. So NERDS30, get in. It expires at kickoff next Thursday when the Eagles are playing. Who the Eagles play?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. How about
great,
them Cowboys?
Great start to the season. Love that.
Huge opener, right?
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be gaping. Anyways, so
Be gaping.
top 12 tight ends, Garret. You have been a salty bitch about this. Like you're on a paddle board in the ocean because you like it. Gargle, gargle. Where are we approaching the tight ends?
Let's go 3 at a time. Let's go 3 at a time this time.
I feel like that makes more sense.
Okay. In order, how I think they finished top 3.
Yep.
Which is, again, either way.
You could mix them up, but I do have a preference.
I really wanted to put George Kittle as my tight end 1.
I wanted to. I didn't, but I
wanted to. But then I was like, dude, Jacoby Myers already being whiny about his time over there. Like, dude, Brock Bowers again. All the targets.
Number 1. Dude.
All the targets. So Brock Bowers, he was tight end 1 last year, but on points per game basis, George Kittle was tight end 1.
That's true.
Just mind you that. Yeah. So Brock Bowers 1, George Kittle 2, Trey McBride 3.
I went chalky chalk. I went Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, and Kittle, same as last year's finish. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. These guys, you can't go wrong with either one of these.
I ended up going Bowers, Kittle, McBride.
So you and I are on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Here's my one beef with this right now.
Where's the beef?
Because I just did a friendly redraft league the other day, and I was looking at how all these things.
Did you destroy everyone?
Of course.
Then it wasn't friendly.
Yeah, it was less than cordial. But I was looking at the ADP of where these guys were going, and it shows it right here as well. Brock Bowers goes off the board at 17.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Sure.
Trey McBride, 27. 10 picks later. George Kittle, 38. So even though he's the third tight end off the board, way later, that's the value.
100%.
That's the value.
Every redraft league I've done so far, every best ball draft I've done,
yep.
I let everybody jump on Brock. I wait for Brock Bowers to go. Trey McBride goes like real quick after, and I make sure I get George Kittle because that is where the value is. Instead of taking Brock Bowers and missing out on that elite other running back or top tier receiver, I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna get George Kittle.
Let me ask you this though: you're sitting there at the last pick of the draft. What do you do? Because you get 2 picks there, and then you don't pick into 36. What if somebody scoops you, and then you're left out in the cold?
Then I go to my strategy B.
Okay.
Which is
just suck and be
2 or
mediocre
3
at tight end. Okay.
No, there's 2 or 3 tight ends towards the end that I really like.
I have a very bold strategy for a guy who's my tight end 4, by the way.
I wonder if we have the same guy.
Is he a local yokel?
He is.
He is. Me too. Yeah, it's the same strategy.
We've been talking about him a lot, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so like if I miss out on George Kittle to end of round 3, I have a very clear cut a guy who won't even go as tight end 4 because Sam LaPorta is going to usually go tight end 4 there.
Hockenson,
Hockenson. But like I have a guy that I am zeroed in on that I think will finish in that tier. And I've said on our Nerd Herd show, like has a chance. If there's one tight end that could break the mold of these 3 guys, this is the guy who I believe it is. And it's my tight end 4, David Njoku.
Okay. Do you also have him as tight end 4?
I have him as tight end 4 as well.
I have got him as tight end 5, I'm sure for very similar reasons.
And this I literally did a video like 2 months ago of like the surprise players that could finish number 1 overall. And David Njoku was my guy for that. The easiest thing to do is just look at what he did with Joe Flacco before.
That's it, man.
That's the easiest thing to do.
Those 2 guys are like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, did you see all the videos of them in golf carts together?
Yeah, they love each other.
Having a good time. Like, dude, he's going to be force-fed targets. Like, I like Judy as well.
Yeah.
But the guy to own for me in this offense, if I have to pick one, is absolutely David Njoku.
100%. Yeah. I'm a little bit lower on Judy than probably like
I think so, yeah.
than Rich because I think it's going to be the Njoku show.
Yep.
They're going to be running the heck out of the ball. I haven't seen the type of connection. Obviously we only saw one preseason kind of series with those 2 guys on the field, and it was a misfire on the target. As far as Judy and Flacco. But I think Njoku and him have proven over time that obviously that they have a really, really strong connection.
And even any quarterback not named Deshaun Watson to start and finish a game last year, he averaged over 15 points a game.
Yeah.
So he's still putting up borderline number 1 overall tight end numbers just with any random quarterback last year. Jameis Winston, Thomas. I even forget his name now. Thompson Robinson.
Jordan Thompson Robinson.
Thank
worst
you.
quarterback I've ever seen play in
Yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Terrible. Like it didn't matter who it was.
He produced.
He produced. So you have that, and you get Joe Flacco back. Like I think he's a smash value because his ADP right now in redraft is tight end 9 off the board, and he's going in the 80s overall. So in your traditional 10-man league, that's 8th round. Like you're getting him in the 8th round. So I think that's just crazy good value.
It's why I'm willing to gamble on the Kittle because if I miss out, I'm totally comfortable getting Njoku. He mentioned, and in total last year, he averaged, I think, about 13.5 points per game in PPR leagues. He missed 5 games last year, still finishes tight end 10 overall.
And I like Njoku. Obviously, we're all gushing about him right now. Do you guys have any concern that, hey, they got rid of Kenny Pickett? If something happens, they lose a few games, they're going to start turning to these rookies, and then who the hell knows what we got out of a guy like Njoku?
No, I think Garrett, like even mentioned, like the fact he was able to produce even all the other turds back then. I think Dylan Gabriel's a better quarterback than all those guys, and I still think Njoku fits the mold of what we're looking for the guys that have the chance to break in here. It's a guy who's going to be the number 2 target in their offense. It's only you got to be the first or second target in their offense. Obviously, you have Brock Bowers, number 1 target. Trey McBride, you can argue, is the number 1 target with Kyler Murray in that offense. George Kittle, if he's not number 1, he's 1B, right? I think the same thing, Njoku falls into the same line as if he's not 1A, he is 1B. So that's what's going to propel him. I mean, last year he saw the third most targets per game, close to 9 as it was. So I think with the quarterback play, there's a get from Joe Flacco. We mentioned LaPorta. He's already got those guys are like two peas in a pod, like you mentioned. This is a player who's gotten better every single year of his career. He's entering a contract year as well, and he's entering 28, which is the prime year for tight ends. And so he is just ready to take another step forward.
First, a question A, and then I'm going to go to one. Dylan Gabriel obviously kind of earned the backup role there after this last performance in everyone's eyes here. He can operate this offense. I think personally there probably wouldn't be. I mean, there's going to be a drop-off from Joe Flacco to anybody else on the roster, but I think he can operate the offense and kind of support a guy like David Njoku. So I feel good about him being there and kind of being the number 2 guy. And number one, I can't remember what the other question was. Just let's move on. I threw myself off with the A and 1.
I think if you bring in a guy like Dylan Gabriel, they're going to try and keep things short and sweet for him to start, right? Like a lot of quick things like in the flat over the middle.
I remembered one. Harold Fannin looked good in this past few seasons.
Really good.
And with Njoku coming into a contract year, is there any thought that he chips away and starts kind of getting a bigger piece of that pie?
I think there's such different players that if he does start to see more snaps, it's because they're running two tight ends.
Likely. He's getting Isaiah Likely.
Yes, I think that's the case. I don't think it's at the expense of David Njoku. Yeah. And they even talked about, I think it was the tight ends coach that came out and said, like, yes, they're both tight ends, but they are extremely different players in the way that they play the game, and we want to utilize both of those skill sets.
They're going to listen. The Browns are going to run a lot of 12 personnel, regardless. Agreed. So, so I have David Njoku at 4. Garrett, you have him at 4. Matt, you said he had him at 5. So who do you have at 4?
I got the Joker, man. Evan Engram.
So I have at 5.
Yeah. So I think all of us
expect. You have him at 5 too?
I don't have him at 5.
Okay.
I wanted to get him there. I have him at 8. So I have him a little bit lower.
All right.
Okay.
But you have him at 4.
Okay. I'm at 4, and obviously it's on the back of, all the talk this whole offseason about Sean Payton wanting to get a Joker and then him going out and kind of finding his guy, going out and saying, hey, this is the guy that I want. Him and RJ Harvey, which I think RJ Harvey's going to have a role this year. I don't know that it's going to be as the Joker yet. I think that's kind of one of those things that he'll have to grow into if he does become the long term.
And RJ Harvey's not even going to play on third downs.
It sounds like his pass blocking is a big concern at this point.
Yeah.
So he'll really need to grow in order to become that kind of guy.
J.K. Dobbins is reported. He's the starter.
Okay.
As it's reported right now.
All right. So, I mean, we all know that, J.K. Dobbins is a talented guy, can catch some passes. I don't think he falls into the Joker kind of role as much as he is kind of just like an every down type of guy at this point in his career after all the injuries. So Evan Engram is left, as the guy that they're going to kind of use as this moving chess piece. And I think Sean Payton has proven in the past that he really likes to target the tight end and really likes to get those guys involved. So that's why I got him at number 4.
For what it's worth, I kind of have a tier. For me, David Njoku is kind of in his own tier after George Kittle. And then 5 through 9 are who's the last guy left. Like whoever has the lowest ADP, the guy that's available, then I'll take them if I'm not able to get David
5
Njoku.
through 7.
So I mean, okay. I can't find Evan Engram right here, but we're like 1 year removed from him being bananas. And that's why
I was gonna go after Matt. Like, so when you look at Evan Engram, what he can do when the target share is there, and I'm agreeing with you. I think he does play that Joker role. I think Sean Payton does utilize him. I think he fits the mold of being the number 1 or the number 2 target in this offense. And when he did that in Jacksonville, we really saw him excel. In 2022,
43 targets, 114 catches.
Yes.
Crazy amount of targets.
In 2022, he ended up being tight end 5 in PPR. And then when he got more acclimated in that offense, we saw more targets. In 2023, he was tight end 2 overall in PPR. So this is a tight end that we've seen do it when the target share is there. I know last year he's seen about 5 receptions per game. I could see that go up to about 8, like an 8 per game. So for me, I'm with you. It's why I have him at 5. I couldn't get ahead of Njoku because Njoku's to me is a little bit more clear cut. We want to see Evan Engram in that role, and I do predict him to be there, but it's not 100% for me, and with the addition of having Cortland Sutton.
I think if I knew that Flacco was going to be there and be the starter all year round, all year, I would say for sure David Njoku over Evan Engram. I think the path that the Browns are on, in my opinion, is, hey, we're going to start the year with Joe Flacco. If things go south, and they have a very hard schedule kind of up front, if this thing starts going off the rails, we have to do our best to see what we have in this 3rd-round pick, this 5th-round pick. So next year we have the most informed decision possible. Do we need to go out and make a move at quarterback? And I think that is, especially with the trading away of Kenny Pickett, that signals that path even more to me.
I've said that for a while now. I think this schedule starts so tough. You can't throw a rookie quarterback in there. You will just break them. I think Flacco does. I think you're giving Flacco the start all the way through the London game, which is the Vikings, which I think is week 6. I think somewhere around there. I'll be there. I think after that, if we're like 1-5, 2-4, maybe they're 2-4, and like we've been playing close games. They give them another week. Maybe they get to the bye, which I think is 2 weeks later. But I think the Vikings game is where that's where we're going to start to pivot. And then you're right. I think they're going to want to see what they have in Dylan Gabriel, because if they did spend a 3rd-round pick on him, I've been kind of hammering this all along, right? Like everybody's been. I've been saying on the show, like our rookie stuff, like people are drafting Shadur Sanders way ahead of Dylan Gabriel, but like the Browns love Dylan Gabriel, and they've done that throughout camp. They've done it through. This point, they just named today Dylan Gabriel the number 2 quarterback.
I mean, I said it when they drafted him. That dude can run the offense right now, and he looks like he can run the offense right now.
He looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who I didn't overly love to say, he looked good in this offense.
He doesn't push the ball down the field as much as you'd like, but he knows how to hit that back foot and find a guy, and he processes well and gets the ball out quickly.
And that being said, I still think the Browns starting quarterback is playing college football this year, and they're going to use. The Browns have acquired a lot of draft capital for 2026.
They got 10 picks next year.
Yeah, and 2 for they're going to go get a quarterback.
A quarterback heavy class. So
we'll see. Evan Engram, I have him at 5. You have him. You have him and Njoku's flip flop, right?
Yeah,
so Garrett, who's your 5?
So my 5, I actually went back to Old Faithful. I put Travis Kelce there. I think the thoughts of his demise were overblown last year.
Yeah.
He was tight end 5 last year. Right. He was still a very good athlete. Yes, he wasn't the elite blue chip guy that he used to be, the standalone guy. Still a very good guy. And it looks like we are going to be getting some missed time from Rashee Rice. Right. So with that, I think he's still going to have enough volume. And I think he's going to be good enough to still be right in that range.
I'm at 6, so I'm with you.
Can I get some credit here? I said on this podcast a month ago, I think I broke it to the world.
That he was
about the engagement?
He was going to be engaged.
So he got engaged today, but I did not say on this podcast a month ago. My birdie had told me that Travis and Taylor would be getting engaged soon.
Yeah, you did say that.
Did I not say that? And here we are just a month later, and they're engaged. So, I was the
breaking news.
I was the one that
breaking news. You got a pretty good birdie.
I had the inside info on that, just by the way. But yeah, you have.
We are the official Taylor Swift podcast,
obviously.
Come on, join my podcast, Taylor. To be honest with you, everything I've heard about her is like. First of all, my wife wanted to watch that podcast when she was on New Heights. Yeah. I thought she came out absolutely fantastic.
She looked fantastic on there.
Again, I know somebody who's best friend. Yeah, everything I have heard about her is that she is awesome. She is the most down to earth person. She jokes around, has a good time, knows how to give time. You would never know by just hanging out with her, she's one of the biggest stars in the world. So my wife is like, oh, I really enjoyed it. She came off really well. I was like, yeah, she came off exactly how I heard she is. She's really just a great person. So
that's great to hear, because that could go, all sorts of crazy ways when you're making that kind of money.
So of course, if you're the biggest star in the world, what are you gonna do? You're gonna marry a Cleveland boy. Adele did the same thing. So come on, get hip out there. Us people from Cleveland are just slightly better. I mean, got Bone Thugs and Harmony. You can't mess with that. Yeah. So you have Travis Kelce at 5. I actually have him down at 10.
Okay.
It's we saw it last year. He posted career lows in what? His touchdowns, his yards after the catch, his yards per route run, his total receiving yards. And what concerns me,
still 823 yards.
I say his lows are still really good.
No, and listen, I get like Garrett said, he still finished as tight end 5 overall, so he was still legit. My concern is now, yes, he is a year older. It's the Rashee Rice because where Rashee Rice, and he missed a lot of time last year. Where Rashee Rice wins, he's not a take the top off defense. He wins in the middle of the field, right? The short crossing routes are his bread and butter. So I think he takes away from Kelce is what it is. So I still have a tight end 10. If he finished higher, not a surprise, because like you said, my tight end from tight end 8 down.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, like
Yep.
this is how I haven't finished, but like we're splitting micro hairs, right?
Right.
So for me, it's just I think the Rashee Rice effect is what's going to take away from Kelce just enough because it is so close. Just kind of we talked about before, the light tight ends or the receivers. It's just so close. Another slight down tick from his production like we saw last year where everything was down.
Right.
It just moves him from tight end 5 to tight end 10 because it's that close on a points per game basis. Where do you have tight end Travis Kelce, Matt?
6.
Oh, so pretty high. So I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Yeah, I already mentioned that. I am at 6.
So. It's just so I had.
So who's your 6 then? Because we have so you have.
I think my Evan Engram was, or no.
Oh yeah, Evan Engram 4.
I had
Njoku 5.
Yep.
And then
Travis Kelce
Travis Kelce
6.
6.
Who did you have?
I have TJ Hockenson at 6.
I have TJ Hockenson at 6 as well.
Okay. Where you have Hockenson?
12.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
way too low for me.
Why so low? Is it the nerves about JJ McCarthy's first year, or what's causing that trepidation?
I mean, yeah. No. I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of conviction about TJ Hockenson here at 12. He was tight end 12 on the year last year. Only played 10 games. He probably is a little bit low for me right now. Now that we're discussing things and talking about them on a podcast, and not writing them down, which is very, very easy to do. Listen, I do think obviously, especially with what's his name being Addison being
gone
suspended
for a couple games.
Was it 3 games?
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah. That's why I thought about putting Hockenson higher.
For some reason in my head, I only had it down as 2. So that's crazy.
Well, you said 3, I say 4, you say 2. I believe it's 4.
All right.
You're probably correct. I didn't say that with a lot of conviction, but for some reason in my mind it was only 2.
Yeah. So I mean, we could obviously see Hockenson being much higher than where I have him, and I think it was just more of a factor of getting other guys in above him, and kind of at the end going, I need to get TJ Hockenson into this top 12. Where does he fit? And I just felt really good about my other guys. So that's why Hockenson ended up at 12.
I think it's 3 games.
It's 3 games. Okay. Yeah.
So who was right there?
You.
All right.
Look at this guy. What a stud.
You mentioned, Matt, he was tight end 12 last year.
Yeah.
And that was,
on a points per game basis.
On a points per game basis. And what's nice is he missed a lot of time last year. He didn't come in until week 9.
He played in 10 games.
Yeah. So he only played in 10 games, come off the ACL and MCL surgery. So that's going to take a little bit time to come back from. And even when he came back, I mean, he wasn't overly fantastic. Weeks 9 through 17, though, which is where I have him, he was tight end 10 overall.
Okay.
So, and that wasn't anything. The year before he had 95 catches, 960 yards. And the question is, can he come back to where he was? And this is somebody, when you look back at 2022, tight end 2 overall, 2023, tight end 4 overall. And I think he's an extremely talented tight end who at one point I had my Dynasty tight end 1 overall because that's how much I loved him. I think that Jordan Addison missing a couple games is enough to really propel him. Now that he's more than a full year removed from his injury, the fact that he's going to be able to slide in as a number 2 target in this offense, I think that'll kind of help propel him, build that rapport with JJ McCarthy. Again, we always talk about these rookie quarterbacks, always what are their safety nets? It's usually the tight end. I think Hockenson kind of find himself in that position. I think Kevin O'Connell could trust Hockenson enough to be JJ's safety net as well, on top of having a guy like Justin Jefferson. So for me, having a tight end 6, and Garrett, you as well, I'm sure you feel the same way, is he's just too talented for me not to come up this high. But like I said, when I get to tight end 6, 7, 8, so it goes Hockenson, LaPorta, and Tucker Kraft for me. And I could easily see all 3 of those guys being tight end 6, tight end 7. And honestly, they finish as tight end 5. Hockenson's talented enough, he could finish as tight end 4, and he could outproduce Njoku. I'm with you.
Possible.
I have him in my own tier, but if he finishes tight end 5, if LaPorta was tight end 5, if Tucker Kraft was tight end 5, that does not shock me. So even though I have Hockenson at 6, I'm with you in the tier group. 5 through 8 to me are pretty close. I almost want to put Evan Engram in his own tier because I'm with you, Matt, how I believe he's going to play that Joker role. Once I know that for sure, he's locked in there. And that's why I said 6 through 8, I feel more comfortable interchanging. Sure. But at the same time, those guys could easily jump up for me. So I do, you have Hockenson at 6 as well?
I have Hockenson at 6 as well, and yeah, I echo a lot of the same things you do. It just comes down to the player himself. He is just such a talented player. This offense is just friendly for fantasy football points. So I see him in a very positive light. And then for me, I have at 7, I have Sam LaPorta.
Yep.
And then,
so do I. 7.
Pretty low, actually.
Yep. I don't think so.
Well, for ADP, I'm saying. Overall, ADP, he's the 4th tight end off the board. And when you look at Sam LaPorta, he's the 51st guy off the board. Then when you get into a lot of the guys that we're talking about, Evan Engram, David Njoku, Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram's 80, Njoku's 82, Tucker Kraft's 108. So, I mean, he's
good
significantly ahead of those guys. So for me, Sam LaPorta, this is not a knock on him as a player. I think he's a very, very talented player. But once again, if this offense just takes a 5% step back, 10% step back, and then if Jameson Williams is actually more involved and take some of that away. Like, there's just a lot of little things. They don't have to be huge things, just little things that could pull them back.
That could all go the wrong way, basically. And LaPorta was 8 last year.
Yeah.
Tight end 8. So, I mean.
I came on a show 6 months ago, and I brought this up. And I said, man, one of my biggest sells right now in tight end premium or in fantasy right now is Sam LaPorta.
We talked about that a lot on Roster Rescue as well.
And I've said this has nothing to do with Sam LaPorta. I think he's a super talented tight end. I was like, my point is, he finished as tight end 8 this year. I feel going forward, Sam LaPorta, which is, again, a very solid asset to own, is going to live in tight end 6 to 8 range consistently. And the reason why is I still have some of my notes back here from early, like 6 months ago, and it says, what happened to his targets per game? It went from 7 to 5. So he lost 2 targets per game because Jameson Williams took a big step up.
What did we used to talk about with Kittle? It was like, Kittle can perform if one of these
not so crowded.
If one of these 2 other guys
100%.
goes down, and it's a very similar thing argument you can make for Sam LaPorta. If one of those guys goes down and Sam LaPorta all of a sudden gets more of the target share because those naturally they're just out of the offense, then yeah, he can bump way the heck up. He's got the talent to do it. It's just there's only one football, and there's only so many targets to go around per year.
Yeah, and we saw Jameson Williams clearly establish himself as a number 2 target in that offense. And that was my point about selling him too. Like, hey man, like he's now the number 3 target in that offense, and you can't be an elite tight end if that's how you're going to operate. It's just not possible. It's literally not possible for you to break that tier. So like my suggestion was like, hey, move off of LaPorta for like even like a guy like Njoku, W contender plus, right? Because you could probably get David Njoku plus a first this year. And just imagine if you sold Sam LaPorta for David Njoku in like 111, and now you can sit there either with Sam LaPorta and like Caleb Johnson, David
Njoku.
Yeah, David Njoku and Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey, Colston, Loveland,
even another tight end,
a Jackson Dart. Like, and I feel much more comfortable with that combination because I'm with you, Matt. Like, as it's going to take another receiver to leave for him to get into that situation. And yes, they picked up Jameson Williams' 5th-year option, but with how good Isaac Tessa has looked in this offense, and they spent a 3rd-round pick on him, there's nothing to believe that if for some reason Jameson Williams leaves, that Tessa is not going to literally slide into that Jameson Williams role. So those concerns for me is, again, it's just about value versus production. And I love Sam LaPorta. I really do. I think he's an amazing talent. It just comes down to the situation. Exactly, I feel like Devontae Smith. Like I said last year, like I love Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I love his talent. It's just where the target shares, where the opportunities, right? That it all comes down to system and why we love again Alvin Kamara so much because of the system he plays and how he plays. It's not as to do with the player. So is there a path for LaPorta to join those elite guys again? Definitely as like some of these other guys start to age out, 100%. But as things stand now, LaPorta to me fits right where he finished last year. Tight end 7, tight end 8. Like I'd almost rather chase the upside of a guy like Tucker Kraft plus, and I get a significant plus than having Sam LaPorta. Yeah. Now, can I settle with Sam LaPorta in Dynasty? Oh, I'm very happy to have him because if I have tight end 7, tight end 8, tight end 6, year in, year out, like I feel very comfortable. But again, I'm trying to build the best roster possible to score the highest points, not settle.
Right.
No, it makes perfect sense. Rich, why don't you tell us about our friends over at FFPC?
Yeah, my FFPC, this is, I think Garrett said last show, this is the last time we're promoting them until the season comes back where we start talking orphans here and come January. So this is your last chance to go out there and check them out. I don't even know if there isn't that much time to join a Dynasty League at this point.
But go find out.
But go check them out. Use the promo code NERD. You get $25 off. And just to let everybody know what they stand for as we get ready for the season, in case time you're listening, if you can get in, great. If not, we'll have some good opportunities for you to join your orphans. This is a place where you can go and play high stakes Dynasty. You can join leagues up to $2,500. You can join leagues for $75. You can join standard, PPR, Superflex, Try Superflex. So many different options they give you. And the number one thing they offer you is security. This is a place where no league has ever folded, no matter what. So when you get in one of these leagues, you feel very comfortable about building for the future, blowing it up, because you don't want to play in a $1,000 league, a $2,000 league, and you're like, this is it. I'm blowing everything up, and now I'm taking the Dynasty Nerds advice. I have 827 firsts. I am going to dominate 2027. And mind you, I saw a great tweet from Matt Miller, the ESPN draft analyst, yesterday. It said, man, if I played Dynasty, I'd be loading up on 27 picks. That looks like a one-of-a-kind
Dude,
class.
I've been telling people.
And I was like, dude, Matt, we are Dynasty experts. We've been saying this for 9 months.
Yep.
So welcome to the club, buddy.
Yep.
And you're an NFL draft analyst. But anyways, my FFPC, if that league folds all of a sudden because like not too many people bounce because nobody has their first, like you just spent $2,000, $4,000 for literally nothing, right? Like there's no fun in that. So check them out, myffpc.com, promo code nerds.
Yeah, and FastDraft, man, things are just getting going here. You can enter that rabbit tournament, and I have a lot of entries in it, to be honest. I've thoroughly enjoyed the product there at FastDraft. You can use promo code nerds. They're going to match that deposit. If it's $10, now it's $20. If it's $50, now it's $100. They'll match it all the way up to $50. Ooh. So head over there, FastDraft, use promo code nerds. Best of all, you're also going to get a free year of everything we do. Ooh. Extra podcast, GM tool, film room, everything. Everything we do, you can get an absolute free year. It's the best offer in Dynasty right now. So use promo code nerds at FastDraft, win a bunch of money there, and get free stuff from us.
Hell yeah. So, Matt, how about you just we went through 6, right, for you?
Yep.
I went 6, 7, 8. Before we give it, because I know we're going to talk about Tucker Kraft, you went to 6?
I did mention my 6,
Okay.
7, 8.
How about this? How about you give me 6 through 12?
Okay.
And then we'll all go through, give our 6 through 12, and then we'll kind of go into some of these guys.
Can we do
here.
7 through 12 or 6? Do you want 6 through 12?
Just to remind, it's a little recap on that. We're not going to talk about the 6th player, but just kind of give
So
a recap.
6 through 12, TJ Hockenson, then Sam LaPorta, Evan Engram, Tucker Kraft at 9. At 10, I have Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. At 11, I have Hunter Henry. Ooh. And at 12, I have Kyle Pitts.
I thought about getting Hunter Henry in there.
It's a weird range down there. And I was like,
it is very weird. And I went a little weird there too.
Did you?
Yeah,
I was like,
right at that same time.
Who's Mr. like steady that like, yep. Oh, he's tight end 12 again. Like it could easily be.
I went with Love at 12, but anyways, who's your 6 through 12?
All right, 6 through 12. I went Travis Kelce, Sam LaPorta at 7. At 8, I went Colston Loveland.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We were talking ADP wise, like who's the highest on Loveland? Matt was way higher. I was like, I told you you loved him.
I love him.
I was like,
number 9,
dang.
Tucker Kraft.
Now we see why George Kittle is below him in our GM tool.
That might just be a function of. All right, we'll talk about that later. 10 Mark Andrews, 11 Zach Ertz. That's where I went a little crazy.
Not a bad call.
And then 12
TJ
Hockenson.
I had Zach Ertz written in.
Yeah.
And I had to take him out for my 11 guy because there's no way I was not going to put my 12th guy in.
I know who that is.
But I had Zach Ertz written in.
Okay. All right.
You.
So to be fair, your 12th guy is my 13th. So I almost got him in.
So did I. Yeah. I wanted to.
If it wasn't for Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz would have been higher.
That's been on my mind, but I still think the Deebo. I still think he gets enough.
I think where Zach Ertz gets there is it's not on the amount of catches and yards he gets. I think it's the touchdowns is what I think he's going to. I think you see double-digit touchdowns this year. So my 6 on is I have TJ Hockenson at 6, Sam LaPorta at 7, Tucker Kraft at 8, Tyler Warren at 9.
Okay.
Travis Kelce at 10.
So we just picked a different
rookie
tight end to get
Mark
up.
Andrews at 11.
None of them.
And I have Dalton Kincaid at 12.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
wait, who'd you say was 11?
Mark Andrews.
Okay.
So obviously all our outliers, Matt, Zach Ertz. Go ahead. You want to talk about Zach Ertz real quick?
I mean, we basically touched on it. I think this is a great offense. Obviously, year 2 with Jaden Daniels. I think the whole offense is going to be better and humming. And obviously they got Terry in, which is I think great news just for this whole kind of thing going on. And you know they brought in Ertz, I think, as a guy that they felt familiar with, and they drafted Sanat last year. It really hasn't come together for Ben yet. And
had a rough camp when I heard.
Yeah, even in camp hasn't been great. So I think that's going to make them kind of rely on Ertz even more. John Bates is a fine tight end. He's just not going to be a factor in the pass catching realm.
And Ertz had a really good camp.
Right, and Ertz has looked great. So I think, last year he was at tight end 7. And this is actually a step back, you know what I mean, getting him in at tight end 11, just because I think there is going to be some sort of negative effect with Debo being there. I just don't think I think it can be offset by things like touchdowns. So I don't think he's going to get to the 91 targets that he had last year, but it was 91 targets, 66 receptions. So he could be more efficient with less targets and still kind of be in that same catch range and maybe a slight drop off in yardage. But
from what I read reports at camp is like they really were utilizing Ertz a ton in the red zone, and everything I read, like he was just dominating every rep in there. So he's a very savvy tight end. Obviously going to be one of the older tight end producers that we've ever seen. If he does do that, I think he's 35
or 36, 34. Okay,
so he's gonna be 35. So Garrett, who is your outlier?
My weird one was Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry.
Here's the biggest reason: total targets at the tight end position. He was 5th last year. 5th in targets. If he's going to be getting that kind of volume in this offense, which it could maybe trickle down a little bit. We do have Stephon Diggs there. We do have Kyle Williams there now. So it could drop a little bit, but I don't think it's going to drop significantly. I still think he's going to be inside the top 8 or so on targets. And I think they're going to be better targets this year. And Hunter Henry even missed the game. So it wasn't even like he played every game, but he was still there. 97 targets last year for Hunter Henry. Very, very solid number. And he's just the most unsexy guy to do it. But if something goes wonky in my redraft leagues or even in my dynasty leagues, and I just don't have a tight end, he's the easy, break glass in case of emergency guy, because I know he's going to get me 8 to 9 points a game.
And 2/3 probably get it done.
Yes.
If not a third, a third and fourth, we get it done for Henry. And you're right. He's another guy I really want to get it. And you're right, man. It got real wonky to back here because there's so many guys I wanted to get in, right? I found a path for Jonnu Smith paired back up with Arthur Smith to be the clear-cut number 2 option in Pittsburgh. I think there's a chance for him to be number 2.
Jake Ferguson, I'm surprised no one had hit him.
Jake Ferguson has a chance. All those guys are all sitting there. Hunter Henry, I was like, dude, a very clear path for him to be the number 2 target there. Zach Ertz was another guy getting there. I settled with Dalton Kincaid. I think it's pretty clear and obvious. This is a player, former first-round pick, enters year 3 year. This is going to be his make or break year. Yeah. This is, by all reports, even outside of the scout I talked to, saying, hey, they want to make sure this offense is run through Dalton Kincaid. Either he's the first or second look in this offense. It really just comes down to, can he stay healthy? Can he get separation for me? And for me, I think coming in this offense, it's going to be, a dominant offense out there. They have no clear cut wide receiver 1 on this offense. Yes, it's because they paid Khalil Shakir. They didn't even pay him wide receiver 1 number. They paid him wide receiver 2 money. And that's what Khalil Shakir really wins. So does Keon Coleman step up and is the number 1 weapon in this offense, or is it Dalton Kincaid? I'm going to put my money on Dalton Kincaid in that manner. And because if it is Khalil Shakir, then we're just looking at lackluster passing game as it is, as they spread around. I think for me, even though he was tight end 26 last year, I think he has a chance to slide into that number 1 target role. So yes, am I being biased here? Am I speaking out of love? Yes. And I'm going to stick with my evaluation that I saw on tape. And, I knew this was a player that, had a chance to take some time. This is a guy who didn't really play football at all in high school. He moved out, and then he played JUCO, went up to Utah, and then he was in the NFL. He only has, going to this year, he's only been playing football for 6 years. So for me, having that draft pedigree, them want to prove that they were right in their assumption on him. I think he has a chance to take a step forward. Hopefully it's higher than 12, but I feel like this is the range he could possibly live in. I think there's a lot of upside there. But right now I'm going to be a little bearish on him, even though I love him. So he's my outlier. I think everything else, we all had Mark Andrews in there.
I think the only one that I didn't hear you guys say that I did have was Kyle Pitts. Did you?
Nobody had Kyle Pitts in there.
I did not have
Kyle
Pitts. No.
So this is maybe not quite the same love, but Kyle Pitts is a player that, yes, he's been severely disappointing over the course of the past 3 seasons. But we have a new sheriff in town. We got a new quarterback in here. Granted, it's what they should say, but all signs point to them saying like, no, we must get Kyle Pitts the football. Like, this is a must.
He's the number 2 option in this offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Drake London.
I throw it to Bijan.
Well, yeah, right. I'm sorry. Besides Bijan, who is actually the number 2, but like a downfield.
But young guys tend to not check it down as much. They tend to take more chances downfield.
I'll tell you this. I have no idea. I would say there's almost a 0% chance, which is low, that they pick up his 5th-year option.
Oh, they're not picking that option.
Because where he was drafted, it's too much money.
Didn't they already have to make that decision?
Did they? Open the Googles.
Get up on the Googles.
I thought because after year 3, they have to make that decision.
Oh, really? If they did, that's crazy because he was a top 10 pick, so they had to pay him top 10 pick 5th-year option money. Which is crazy on production.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's besides his rookie year hasn't done anything that would indicate that you want.
The Atlanta Falcons picked up Kyle Pitts' 5th-year contract option on April 29th.
I'm like this. There's almost a 0% chance. Rich, there's a 100% chance they already did it. So that's how my mind works. I speak in facts. Listen. I'm like Matt just said. Besides rookie year, he has done nothing. Mm-hmm. So as much as like he's only 25. He 100% can be an all-time great tight end. I'm like, no, remember that one wonky couple of years he had, those 3 years there?
That one wonky 3-year window.
For what it's worth, this is his 5th year, so this is his final year.
Oh, this is his 5th year. Oh,
yeah.
God, time flies when you're talking Dynasty.
Flies.
It really does. It's insane.
Isn't that crazy that it's already year 5? So he had the one great rookie season and then 3 duds.
Yeah, so for me, it's
Arthur Smith. Whoever the heck's there now.
I guess
I can't remember the
cousin /
who's the OC there now?
Some former Rams guy.
Okay.
There's so many when we talk about all those bunch of guys in the bottom there, like a guy named Zach Ertz, Hunter Henry. I feel more comfortable about all of them than Kyle Pitts. Like I'm done until I see it, and I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's hard.
But I'm not saying it's not in the realm of possibility. He's still he's so young. And he was so talented. And he already did it at such a high level. He did it in college at a high level. So it's in there. But something went sideways, and it hasn't righted itself since his rookie year. And you get to a certain point where, like, I don't know if it's even correctable. Now, to be fair, we saw a guy in the same exact mold, right? A guy we already talked about. Evan Engram came out
Same exact thing.
And then fell off the face of the earth.
For the New York Giants. A first-round pick, was amazing his year 1, and then fell off the face of the earth until he got
catch for 2 or 3 years.
And for what it's worth, he was tight end 15 last year. So it's not like he was crazy far away from the top 12, but it's still disappointing with where we expected him.
And the value, compared to ADP. And it's the thing. What Kyle Pitts costs you compared to what you give Hunter Henry for, it's like, dude, or Zach Ertz, you know what I mean? It's like, dude.
Exactly.
And once you're in that range, like, what am I paying? And like, if you still have Kyle Pitts, you're not definitely you're not selling like anything. You're not taking seconds for it because you'd rather just hope and hold on and go down with the ship, right? Like, if I had Kyle Pitts,
I might take a second, honestly.
I don't think I would. I think
even though I'm the one like proponent of him,
and I'm down on him, but I would still rather just like the tight that position's so elusive. And he's still so young. I would rather just gamble on the upside and and then hopes that like he doesn't work out in like Atlanta and he goes somewhere else and like
and
just like Evan Engram,
it
was great, right? And he has so much time. Like, dude, he could be a dud for 2 more years and be his year 27.
What if still have 3 or 4?
We've been wanting
5 years.
We've been wanting a guy to go here forever. What if he's finally the guy that joins Justin Herbert?
Oh, dude, there or replaces Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? So along those
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah,
we've been trying to give him somebody for forever. Mike Gesicki, it's happening.
Dude, what I was,
the what ifs.
He did get extended in Cincinnati, though.
He did.
God bless
the nasty
him.
natty.
Hey, Nerd Herd, want to tell you about a show that we've been doing live on YouTube where we go over your teams and we talk about how to fix your broken roster. It's called Roster Rescue. We do it live every single Monday at noon Eastern time. And if you want to get a part of that, just head to our Dynasty Nerds homepage, go under the store tab, and you'll find Roster Rescue right there. Perfect opportunity to get your rosters in shape before the season or even in the middle of the season to make sure that you can win a championship.
Mark Andrews on our list. Somebody who's taken a big dump down it really had to do with like the Isaiah Likely news.
Sure.
Harbaugh saying, hey, we expect him to be like an all-pro. All signs that like literally they were trying to extend him. They get hurt real bad. Despite all that, and despite that, Mark Andrews fell off like real hard early in the game. I think the first, now you remember he did have that pre-season car accident. So he was hurt going into the season. He didn't really start coming on until I think it was like week 5 or 6. Mark Andrews finished as tight end 6 overall last year. Like he was still a very solid tight end.
All the dude does is produce, man. Yeah. So
does.
I mean, we all have him pretty low, right? I have him at 10. You had him where?
I had him at 10.
I have him at 10.
Or
We
11.
all of them exactly.
Across the board.
Okay,
All
I have
right.
him at 10. Yeah, and last year, if he started the year so bad, but from week 5 on, he was tight end 5. Like,
Yeah.
he was really good, and he only had 2 games under 10 points during that stretch too. So he was still fairly consistent. But yeah, he's a tough one because you feel like the other shoe is about to drop any time, but it just hasn't, and he's still putting up numbers.
All right, let's talk 2 rookies. Then we'll finish it off with Tucker Kraft talk. How about
Sounds
that?
good.
Okay, so Matt, you have Colston Loveland in at number 9?
8.
8, and I have Tyler Warren at 9. So I was telling Garrett on the Fantasy Roster Rescue show, like, God, why is this Kittle thing off? And then he looked it up, and it's like, whoa, Matt's got Colston Loveland so high. I think you have him like 35th overall in Superflex tight end premium rankings.
I think that's something I just need to go in and correct. And
Okay.
move back. I think it's a function of the way we copy and paste or copy
and
over.
move them up to- I gotcha.
I think it's just
That makes sense. Okay. Fix that.
I will.
Second of all-
I think
He's not a top 3 round pick for you.
no. I have to move him down specifically every single time, and I think I forgot to. Move
I
him
have
down
to go back in and move Brock Bowers down because
Yeah.
when I don't, it automatically moves him to my number 1 overall
Right.
player. So
and it must have been like I did an update. I forgot to just move him.
Gotcha.
down
That
where
makes
he needs
sense.
to be.
So but you still haven't finished as tight end 8 amongst such a crowded room
Yep.
of weapons here. DJ Moore, Romo Dunze. The staff has been raving about Luther Burden over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
he's been doing
how does Colston Loveland carve out a path in the 2025
Year
season
1.
as a rookie?
I mean, I
finish
think
as tight end 8.
Yeah. I think, obviously this is a very crowded situation. So that's going to be, I think, the biggest hurdle is to get over.
Enough targets.
Is to get the targets. But we've seen, obviously, rookies make a big impact in Ben Johnson's offense in the past. Sam LaPorta comes directly to mind. His rookie year when he finished as, I think, tight end 2?
2 or 3.
I can't remember. He was tight end 1 at one point, and I think he got passed in that year. So I'm not bumping him up that crazy high, but this past
He was actually tight end 1, but it was partly because a few guys missed a couple games and he didn't. So on a points per game basis, he was tight end 3.
Okay,
but
that's what it was.
overall,
I knew there
he
was
tight end
something
1.
weird.
He was
Like
tight end 1,
he was up there really really high. Obviously, I think those numbers are going to be hard to get to because there's just too many people to kind of target in that offense. But we know they like to use him, and I think they tipped their hand a little bit in that one preseason game when they got the ball in Colston Loveland's hand on a quick, easy pass right away. And then another one, a few plays later, right down the seam. And, how do you make things easy on your quarterback is give him predetermined, quick, easy reads that he can, hit that back foot and let it rip. And Caleb, we talked about it. Caleb Williams actually looked good doing that. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to play within the confines of like a structured offense like that. And he looked good doing it. And I think the way you kind of do that is give him short, quick, easy passes and get him in a rhythm early.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to try to establish that kind of offense pretty much throughout the entire year. And that kind of stuff breeds, I think, or it lends itself to getting the tight ends specifically involved quickly and early. And I think that's gonna kind of snowball into Colston Loveland getting a lot of targets and then getting a lot of confidence. And once you have that kind of stuff established and the kind of chemistry established with the quarterback, hey, I know you're going to be here when you're supposed to be, and I can let it rip, and you're going to make that catch and get me yards after the catch, which is something Colston Loveland is very good at. I think it's going to be kind of a glove in hand fit with Colston Loveland, the young quarterback, and this offense.
I kind of felt that way about Tyler Warren. We saw him. He's coming out of Penn State. We said when scouting him, he's probably the most pro-ready tight end that we saw. That would probably have, I think we talked about, it wouldn't surprise us if Tyler Warren had the most productive year 1, but it wouldn't surprise us also if Colston Loveland had a better long-term career. Coming off a year at Penn State where he had 104 catches for over 1,200 yards out there. All reports that I've seen so far coming out of Indianapolis is that this coaching staff has been working on getting Tyler Warren involved in offense early and often. So with those reports saying, like we said, I like Josh Downs a ton. I like Michael Pittman as well. This is offense. I think they're going to want to keep the ball, everything short and sweet, help Daniel Jones out on his rollouts, who's an athletic tight end. And I think they're going to find ways to make sure that he's either the first or second look in this offense. So for me, I think Tyler Warren, just because of target share alone, how many catches he's going to get this year, is going to finish as a tight end 1. A lot of guys you could switch him out for, but I want to sneak one. I felt good enough about him for how much production he's going to see.
I mean, same. You know what I mean? Like that's
Colston.
like I felt good enough about it that I was.
So
like,
I didn't get any rookies in there.
Yeah.
But do you want to know who I actually have projected as the highest rookie tight end? Mason Taylor.
Mason Taylor. Taylor.
I can see that too.
Yeah, no doubt. Because
Nobody there to catch the football
it's
outside of Garrett Wilson.
Garrett
it is
Wilson and him.
barren.
Yes.
Yeah, a ton.
Barren.
And then so it leaves us with Tucker Kraft. I had him at 8. Matt, you had him at
9.
And Garrett, you had him at
9.
So we're all pretty close. Somebody who finished as tight end 8 last year. But when you look at something, what's really interesting here when you look at him is amongst all tight ends, he led all tight ends in yards after contact and broken tackles.
I could see him finishing so much higher if there wasn't such a mess at the wide, like so many wide
There's
receivers,
just so many people to get the ball
so
to.
many people to target, and they spread it around so much that it's hard for me to bump him higher than I got him.
And I go back to that. We mentioned it when he said it, Matt LaFleur, like this is a month or so ago. He said, if there's an area we got to do better at, it's featuring the tight end. And we saw last year that this offense targeted the tight ends 25% of the time. When you have somebody who in their first year is being the main guy there, excel with the ball in his hands like Tucker Kraft did, I see why he would say something like that. With such a potpourri of mystery at the receiver position, how it's going to play it out, I think in the end, it could be somebody like Tucker Kraft is the most valuable receiving weapon we see in that offense. So I think we're all like pretty comfortable because he finished a tight end 8 last year. No reason not to do that.
Yep.
But he's the kind of guy, like I said, right? I ended at 8 for Tucker Kraft for a reason because that was the last guy I saw that could propel up to like as high as 5, and it wouldn't shock me in the least.
Yeah, he's super talented, man. And given that some of these guys, George Kittle's a little bit older, Evan Ingram's a little bit older, Travis Kelce obviously a little bit older. He's a guy that we're going to be having to have the conversation, is he this next guy that's going to be able to get into a tier if Green Bay's wide receivers kind of start to dissipate in the next couple of seasons,
Or even just solidify who's who and what's the roles.
I mentioned it when we were doing all the division breakdowns. They have a lot of guys that are coming up on contract years. Right. So it's not going to be the same thing in 2 years in Green Bay than it is right now. Right. So I think there's going to be a conversation, about Tucker Kraft. Is he talented enough to be a top 4 guy in a couple of seasons? So this might be a nice opportunity while he's kind of has a little bit of a depressed value to kind of go out and say, hey, let's make some moves for Tucker Kraft now, because in 2 or 3 years he's going to be a guy that's kind of up in this other echelon. Nipping at heels of the top tier.
That's a really good point from a dynasty perspective. He's probably one of the best high upside buys at the position.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I don't have much to add on Tucker Kraft. I echo what you guys say. I think he's a good player that's in a little bit of a messy situation, but the talent overrides that for me, and so I'm willing. Any guy in this range is a risk, but he's a guy that I'm willing to take the risk on.
Absolutely. All right, so as we get ready for next week is NFL football, and we are going to do what we always do before the season and bring you 2 episodes of our bold predictions for the 2025 season. We like we like to really just put ourselves out there, right? Like just, do we think these are 100% be true?
I like to sit back. I like to sit back and listen to Rich put himself out there. That's what
my goal this year is to find one bold prediction for every single team.
Oh my gosh!
Is one of
32 bold predictions.
Yes. So, usually at the show,
we don't even have to talk.
Then I will just sit back.
No, because at the end of the shows, then I usually just I'll ram through real
Rapid
quick.
fire.
I don't give analysts why, because a lot of times you're just
I was gonna let that slide.
It's an analyst. I'm an analyst.
I was gonna let you wipe that turd.
That sounds like a Saturday Night Live sketch. And he's the analyst.
Ooh, I like the way you said that. I got tingles.
That was like a Jeopardy thing. When he reads it wrong. Was it Sean Connery?
Yeah, Sean Connery. Analyst. Can I have the butt experts, please? That's analyst Sean. Shut up, Trebek. So we'll be back next week with those. If you enjoyed our summer talk, please leave a rating and review wherever you find us. We appreciate it. It helps the show. So if you take the time, leave us a rating and review on the show. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us everywhere else you get your social media. And we'll see you next week for kickoff of the NFL season. And the points start to count. Points per reception, yards, touchdowns, all of that as we brace ourselves for all the injuries as well.
The real fun.
The real fun. All the work is leading up to this. We'll be back next week with more Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Adios.